Welcome back, everybody, to episode 5 of the Washed Up Sports Podcast. We are your Washed Up Sports hosts,
Patrick Quinn,
Ortiz,
and I'm Bobby Hanscom. Tonight, we will be getting into the postseason preview of the NHL with our first ever guest, Noah Greenwood. We'll be getting into our live reactions of the first few picks of the NFL draft, a few random headlines in the sports world, and as always, we'll be finishing up with the Washed Up Wagers.
All right, well, we would like to welcome in our first ever guest on the show, our NHL connoisseur, Noah Greenwood. Welcome to the show, Greenie. Thanks for your time to join us here. Stanley Cup playoffs are in full swing. What matchup has caught your eye? I know for me, it's the Bruins Maple Leafs. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, obviously seeing the jerseys behind me here, I've been tuned into that series pretty heavily. Originally, I probably thought it was going to be a clean sweep for the Bees. Obviously, let one go at home. But their gentleman's sweep, it'll end Thursday night for sure. That's a guarantee. Actually, sorry, Tuesday night. I would like to think they could get it done in 5. But, it's just a rivalry series, so you never really know. Both teams are winning on the road early, obviously. It's just going to come down to a big factor, I think, is if Nylander comes back and plays. I don't know what's happening with him yet.
I know reports have been saying that he's been having a lot of migraines. You think that's an excuse, or
I don't know. You guys tell me. But if someone had migraines, I wouldn't be rolling them out for skates or anything. I'd be having them sit in the hotel room or something. But that's just me. I wouldn't be having him go out for line rushes and stuff all day and then not play him because his head hurts,
right?
Or he's just soft.
All right, another one in the East, Greenie. What do you think about the Panthers-Lightning series? Obviously, the rivalry of Florida. The Lightning lost a heartbreaker the other night in overtime against the Panthers. Do you think the Lightning are just too old right now after all the success they've had, or is this kind of the Panthers' revenge tour after making it to the finals last year? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think it's the Lightning getting too old. Kucherov had the most points in the NHL this year, so obviously that didn't slow him down. But I think it's more of a passing of the torch of Florida from Tampa being the dynasty that they were, if you want to call them that. Now going to Florida, who's these young guys who don't care. Last year, obviously took the historic Bruins out in 7 games in the first round. But yeah, I think it's Florida's state, obviously it's the Panthers' state now. And I think, obviously they're playing right now. It's 1-0. If they win this, it's pretty much over, I think.
That was going to be my next quick question. The Panthers kind of ran into the injury bug towards the end of the playoffs. Do you think for them, their goal is to get every series done as quickly as possible to kind of avoid that injury bug, or do you think it might catch up to them again if they have to go deep in 7-game series towards the end of the conference finals or even the Stanley Cup finals?
Yeah, I think for any team, they would want to get it over as quick as possible. I don't know if you saw last game. I'm going to mess this up. I think it was Sam Bennett, though. He got slap shot right to the hand, and he's going to be out a few weeks. So they're already down a key centerman for them, and that was after only 2 games. So we'll see. They'd definitely love a sweep here, though.
Now, Greenie, another matchup we have in the East is the Hurricanes versus the Islanders. So I know the Islanders were up 3-0, and the Hurricanes scored 5 unanswered goals. Do you think that makes the Islanders dead?
Yeah, they were dead before the series even started. They could have played probably anyone other than maybe the Caps, and they shouldn't have even been in either. They're just you watch them all season. They're just a boring team that they never score, so they have to score 3-4 goals, and maybe then even if they do, now they're losing those games now too. But that game was like perfect Islanders hockey for the year, and I love it.
All right, now going into the West, I know I loved the Golden Knights Stars matchup. What do you think? You think Dallas can make a comeback and make this a series again?
Yeah, I that was probably my favorite series outside of obviously the Bees. I thought it would be just 1-1 after being in Dallas, and it would kind of go to seven games the old-fashioned way. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they play tonight or I think they might play tomorrow. But yeah, if they lose that game, if Dallas loses, then I mean it's over. No one's coming back 3-0. If you look at Vegas, I mean obviously they won the Cup last year, and this year, they had Mark Stone go on LTIR for the third season in a row and activated him game one. Somehow he scores the first game. They get Thomas Hurdle at the deadline. He scores in game one. They get Noah Hannafin. He scores last night. So, I mean, they're not an 8 seed. It's kind of similar to the Panthers last year where they obviously weren't an 8 seed. But, yeah, Vegas is, in my mind, probably a top 2-3 team to win it all. So
quick one with that, Graney. There was a lot of speculation going around in the hockey world about the NHL kind of wanting Vegas to repeat, so that's why they had their first game. The puck drop was the last one on the card almost 3 or 4 days after everybody else puck dropped, so they were allowed to get those guys healthy. Do you think the NHL wants to see Vegas go far, so that's why they had them be the last puck drop and let everybody get healthy?
No, I don't. I think that might have been just coincidence, but there is definitely a thing to it about Mark Stone going on the LTIR the last 3 years and then somehow playing game one all 3. There's, that it's the same thing. When the Lightning won their 2, I believe Kucherov was on LTIR both those years, so it takes their salary cap hit off the books for that time, and then they can just add people at the deadline, and then once playoffs start, there is no cap.
But another matchup in the West. Probably the most exciting matchup so far in the last 2 games. The Avs and the Jets, just absolutely electrifying 1-1 series right now. What are your thoughts just so far in the first 2 games, and how do you think the series ends up?
Yeah, I mean that home ice for Winnipeg is one of the teams that definitely gets advantage. That place is rocking. But that first game was pretty wild. 13 goals between the 2 teams. I don't know. Hellebuck he's supposed to be he is the clear runaway for Vezina this year, and now he's let in 10 goals in 2 games. So if he doesn't step up, I'd like to think the Avs can run away with this because they're not a 6 seed either. So it comes down to Hellebuck. If he can lock it in again for the next few games, then I think that this will probably go 7. With home ice, I'd like to think Winnipeg gets that one.
Yeah, I think your point to the best barn in hockey being Winnipeg, for not many hockey fans, is Winnipeg always like that with hockey, or is it kind of just a playoff thing that the fans come out and they make this crazy whiteout and all this attention and this noise and the flags going everywhere? Is this like an all-time thing, or is it kind of just because they're in the playoffs again and they're good?
Yeah, I mean, the regular season's not as crazy, but, if you look at Winnipeg on a map, there isn't much out there. But playoffs, they definitely turn it up a little bit, just because that's their only team, within a few hundred miles of woods.
I'm going to hit you with one more matchup here, Greeny. The Oilers-Kings right now. McDavid led the league in points. 5 assists game 1. The Kings have no one in the top 30 in goals this season. How did they steal game 2? But do you think the Oilers will make it past the first round?
Yeah, the Oilers, in my mind, are the favorite to win. I think they're my pick. Teams like that get a game all the time. I don't think there's something to think of it. I think it's just a bad game for the Oilers where, McDavid kind of got abused. They were giving him shoves all night. But similar to the Celtics, I think it's just a game that they kind of let off the gas a little bit, and that happens. I think they'll win in 5.
If McDavid doesn't win a ring this year, do you think he's staying with the Oilers, or you think he's leaving to try to find a better fit so he can actually get that ring that the Oilers have never gotten since the 90s? Yeah,
I think he'll be there next year. But you'd think, right, soon, if they don't, at least, if they don't make the Western Conference Finals this year, I mean, I think anything's on the table. But if they get there, I mean, I think he stays for a few more years. I mean, it's always going to tarnish his legacy if he doesn't get one. So he's definitely going to end up start chasing it. It's just a matter of when. I mean, I think he's only like 27 still. He's the most skilled hockey player ever to live. He can do things on the ice that literally no human ever will be able to do.
Other than Vegas, do you have any other dark horses that could possibly win the cup?
I mean, they are probably the dark horse at the 8th seed, but I guess if you're going to go by seeding, probably the Avs as a 6th seed. I think they're not a 6th seed, so I think they can definitely make a run, especially if Hellebuck keeps playing like this. They'll easily get by Winnipeg, and then I'm not sure who they play next. I want to say maybe the Canucks or the Predators, and Demko's hurt for the Canucks now, so who knows who's going to come out of that series. That'll be an easy win for the Avs. So
I know it's kind of like early because I know it's only game 3s right now being played. But who do you see coming out of everything? Who do you see lifting that Stanley Cup trophy?
Before that, who do you think coming out of the East and coming out of the West?
Right.
So out of the East, I think if the Bruins can get by the Leafs,
baby.
If they can get by the Leafs, I still think they have the team to do it, especially after what happened last year. Those guys, they're coming for blood this year, so nothing's going to really stop them. So I'd say the Bruins coming out of the East. Out of the West, I got to stick with my pick for the winner, so I got to say Edmonton. But who knows what happens because they're probably going to have to play Vegas next round. So,
and one last team we didn't talk about quickly, and then I'll have my final question. The Rangers this year bringing the President's Cup trophy, kind of having seems to be a walk in the park with the Capitals in this first series. Would it be a disappointment if they didn't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Stanley Cup Finals, or is it kind of, it's the Rangers, they always seem to be good, and then they never kind of get to the finish line?
Yeah, here, I'll use a different word other than disappoint. I'll say it's reality, and next round they'll probably be out in 5 or 6 games to the Hurricanes.
Yeah, like Carolina's real good.
So there's Rangers don't scare me, and they shouldn't really scare anyone, I don't think. The
last question we have for you, obviously one hits home a little to you with your friend being on the team and everything like that. The thoughts about the Arizona Coyotes kind of all of a sudden, I know there was talk about it. They had plans to get a new stadium. There were logistics that came out. Everybody saw what it might look like. And then kind of out of the blue, they're packing up their stuff and they're moving to Salt Lake. What are your first thoughts on that? And then I have a follow-up after that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you asked me this a week ago, I didn't like it. I didn't think Utah was going to be a great place for a hockey team. The stadium's kind of whack. He says he's going to put a bunch of money into it to make it a kind of more NHL-friendly arena. But last night they had the kind of welcome party, if you want to call it that, at the stadium for the team. So Arizona flew out there, and that place was electric. So I'm back in on the Utah, whatever they end up calling it.
What's your pick for that team name? Utah Soakers?
I like the Utah Soakers. If that was an option, I think there no doubt should be doing it because that logo would be great, whatever they end up coming up with. But they said
I saw the Utah Yetis was one of them.
Yeah,
Utah Blizzard.
Yeah, I don't mind the Utah Blizzard, but the Blizzard Avalanche kind of thing. I kind of like the Utah Mammoth or the Utah Fury.
Oh, Utah Fury.
I think they could do some cool things there with the Fury, but who knows? They'll probably stick with Hockey Club. That's my guess for the first year.
My question to you now about this is why Utah? Why not any other city, any other major city in Canada or the U.S.? That doesn't. Yeah. What about Atlanta?
Atlanta, Quebec. They were talking about.
I don't.
Why Utah?
So I think Utah because I think they chose it because that owner did such a good job, has been doing such a good job with the Utah Jazz. I think that's the reason they went there, and partially because he could pay for it. In terms of the other cities, like Quebec, I don't think would have been a good spot for a team. I kind of liked Atlanta, even though, for the same reason I didn't like Quebec they already had a team and it didn't really work out. With TNT, now taking over for, NHL coverage, they're right in Atlanta. So I think that would be great to have a team there for all the access and all that. But I think Utah is going to be good, especially with that party last night. I think it's going to be a good spot. And Arizona needs a team back, so that's probably the next spot that I hope gets a team back. So
let's just hope for expansion then.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, they no doubt will be.
All right, Greeny. Well, it was a pleasure talking with you as always, friend. And we will get you on as soon as we can.
We always
All right,
appreciate your
boys.
time. We'll definitely see you for the preseason of the NHL now.
All right, go Bees.
Go
See you,
Bees.
Greeny.
Go Bees, baby.
All right, so we'll get right into the NFL draft. Tonight is everyone's favorite time of year. If you're an NFL football fan, your team can either be saved by one of these picks or you're going to be having to burn your jersey in a couple of years. The draft is going on right now as we speak. They're doing the intros. It is about 8:10 as we are start recording right now. We are going to start off with our 10 first-round pick predictions, each one of us. I will start off with, I think all of us, we have Caleb Williams going number 1.
Yep.
I have to the Bears. I have Jaden Daniels going number 2 to the Washington Commanders. I have Drake May going to the New England Patriots. I have the Vikings trading up to the number 4 spot, taking J.J. McCarthy. So 4 quarterbacks in a row.
Ooh.
So they trade with the Arizona Cardinals. And then I have the Arizona Cardinals trading with the Chargers at that 5 spot, taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I have the Giants taking Malik Nabers at 6. I have the Tennessee Titans at 7, taking Joe Alt. At 8, I have the Atlanta Falcons taking Byron Murphy. At 9, I have the Bears keeping their pick, grabbing another weapon and taking Rome Odunze. And then lastly, to round out the top 10, I have Brock Bowers going to the New York Jets. What about you, Bill?
So for me, I also, obviously, Caleb Williams, number 1. I agree with you at number 2, with it being Jaden Daniels. At 3, I think the Patriots also take Drake May. 4, I think the Cardinals stay. I think they take Marvin Harrison. I think at 5 with the Chargers, I think they surprise people and they go receiver because they need receiver help, and I think they go Malik Nabers. At 6, I think the Giants stay at 6 as well. They take an offensive lineman, Joe Alt. At 7, I think the Vikings trade with the Titans and take J.J. McCarthy at 7. I think at 8, the Falcons take Dallas Turner, the end from Alabama. At 9, I think the Bears also as well keep their pick and take Rome Odunze, and I also have the Jets taking Brock Bowers. Now, Lou.
All right. Well, obviously, number 1, we have all Caleb Williams. For 2, I have Drake May going to the Commanders. I have 3, the Pats. God bless the Pats, dude. I really hope they take Daniels, man. I that's the one pick I just wish they fucking do.
Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
Nah. For 4th, I have the Cardinals picking Marvin Harrison Jr. I have 5, Malik Nabers going to the Chargers. I have the Giants, Joe Alt, a nice 6'9" frame, going to the Giants, baby. For 7, I have a Odunze going to the Titans. 8, I see J.J. McCarthy going to the Falcons. Number 9, I got Byron Murphy. And 10, I have Brock Bowers, man.
I have one question for you.
What's up?
They just got Kirk
J.J.
Cousins.
McCarthy going to the Falcons?
Dude, they have Kirk Cousins off an injury, man. What do you think? They're playing it safe.
Okay.
Play it safe. That's big, especially in the NFL, man.
All right.
You get hurt in week 1. Talk about Aaron Rodgers, man. I'm just saying, don't the Jets wish that they drafted J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah, but don't they got the stud Taylor Heineke as their number 2?
Oh yeah,
No,
Taylor.
it's
Oh,
I think
no?
he's gone. I think
Is
it's just Desmond Ritter.
that's a big
wow.
stud, huh?
It is currently 9:40. The 2024 NFL Draft is well underway. We're about 13 picks through, and boys, a lot of quarterbacks have been taken. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the first 10 picks. We can compare to see how we did. Obviously, number 1 was Caleb Williams. Number 2 was Jaden Daniels. Number 3 was Drake May. Number 4 was Marvin Harrison. Number 5, surprisingly to some, was Joe Alt. Didn't see that coming for the Chargers.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Joe Alt.
Oh, I called it! I called it!
You said Joe Alt to the Giants.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Should have been Mavis.
They went tackle,
Wow.
Giants. Congratulations,
That's
Pats.
crazy.
Hey, congratulations. You got fucking Malik Neighbors.
I'm happy for you, honestly.
Number 6 was Malik Neighbors. And then number 7, they went with the other offensive tackle. What was his name? J.C. Latham. 8, Michael Penix to Atlanta.
The Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
Oh my god! What?
Holy wow.
He's even surprised. Dude, he's like, wait a minute. What? That's supposed to be me? What? That's crazy, dude. Nah, look at him.
We love the
He's surprised. What?
9, Roma Dunze to the Chicago Bears. And then the Minnesota Vikings traded up to get J.J. McCarthy at 10. How'd we do?
I got 5 out of my 10 right. I got the first 4 picks right, being Caleb, Jaden, Drake May, and Marvin. And then I got Roma Dunze right at 9. But
I sadly got 2 out of 10.
Oof.
I got Caleb, and then I did get Harrison at 4. But I'm not going to lie, my biggest surprise here, I really thought Penix was going to be a late first rounder. I didn't think he was going to be top 10 here.
Yeah, that was a mega surprise with the fact that they just signed Kirk Cousins to a mega deal over $100 million. Probably, I think it's close to $80 million guaranteed. And now you just draft a quarterback, not even in the first round, in the top 10 picks. Pretty crazy. Like, this is Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers all over again, but this is even more because it was in the first 10 picks of the draft.
And you know what's even crazier too is the fact that Penix is going to be 24 by the time the next season starts.
Yeah, he's had a lot of injuries throughout his career.
By the time Kirk Cousins' contract is up, he's going to be like 27.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I know you said a little bit about Kirk Cousins coming off the Achilles injury and stuff like that. See how it is, but I don't think you pay somebody that much to sit on the bench. So it'll be interesting to see how healthy Kirk is when the season comes around, what they decide to do. I went 5 out of 10 as well. I had Caleb, Jaden, Drake May, and then I had my New York Giants taking Malik Neighbors. So I went 5 out of 10 as well.
Nice.
Anybody picked higher than you expected, lower than you expected? Anybody kind of stand out in those first 10 picks?
I mean, obviously Penix.
Yeah,
Penix is nuts.
Like I said.
Like
Penix.
Lewis said, is Penix even going into the top 10?
I saw him late first round.
I definitely saw him late first round.
The latest early second round, but I was not expecting him getting.
I think another surprise, not going in the top 10, but the Chargers taking Joe Alt.
Yeah.
I mean, they have no weapons on that team right now.
I was surprised that they didn't take Neighbors.
With Neighbors and a Dunze on the board,
Yeah.
absolutely no weapons to throw. They completely got rid of everybody this offseason, cut Keenan Allen, got rid of Mike Williams, Austin Eckler's now on the Commanders. They have nobody on that team, and they still have nobody. They have a really good offensive tackle, but I mean, you can protect them all you want, but if Justin Herbert can't get rid of the ball, it's not really going to go in any good way.
I would say another surprise that's not in the top 10, in my opinion, was Bo Nix going, 12?
The Denver Broncos select Bo Nix. Quarterback, Oregon.
Yo, Raiders fucked.
Yeah!
12
Yeah!
6 quarterbacks and 12 picks.
Yeah!
Denver.
Yeah, Bo Nix did go 12.
I know he
to Denver.
didn't say that, but Bo Nix went 12 to Denver. But yeah, I think that was very surprising. I thought he was also one of those guys, late first round, early second round.
Well, that's 50% of the first 12 picks were quarterbacks.
Yeah.
How do we feel about your Patriots taking Drake May? I know some clips will come out about how Lewis truly feels eventually, but...
The New England Patriots select Drake May.
Oh my God, dude! What the fuck?
Hey,
Fuck that shit, dude!
it's barely fucking JJ
No,
McCarthy.
fuck that shit!
JJ McCarthy's a
Fuck
bum.
that! I'd rather have fucking Penix, dude! Fuck you!
You just say Mike Pence, the Vice President of the United States. I thought you said Mike Pence.
We are so fucked. We are so fucked. We are fucked, bro. We're fucked.
We're gonna get Ayuk.
Ayuk?
We're gonna get Ayuk.
No, we're not.
Let's get it for the podcast. How do you guys feel about... obviously, Jaden wasn't available and Caleb wasn't available, so Drake May was, to most people's eyes, the third best quarterback available. You had to take a quarterback.
Yep.
It seemed like. What do you guys think?
Personally, you see Jaden Daniels go 2, you're trained out of that pick. You're trying to get Penix, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. We'll see what Drake May does. You got to have the faith in him, being a Pats fan, but it's a tough call.
You sure you've got to have faith in them? 30 minutes ago, you weren't saying that.
Like,
Fuck, dude! Jaden
you're telling me we're getting Drake May?
Fuck!
Fuck, dude! Oh, damn it! You gotta set into reality.
I was gonna say he definitely came down to reality.
You gotta set into reality a little bit, and you gotta be like, we got Drake May, so what are we gonna do?
Is this a Mac Jones 2.0 though?
No,
I believe so.
Almost seems like the
Yes.
same situation though.
Yes.
He's going into a team with a really good defense, but absolutely no offensive weapons to throw the ball to. Kendrick Bourne's coming off an injury. Ramondre Stevenson can't seem healthy. Hunter Henry's a hit and miss every other day. He has a good week and then 2 bad weeks and then might have a good week. You know, as like a Patriots fan, who's going to get the ball?
It was Daniels or die.
I will say it doesn't matter. Even if we took Jaden Daniels, he'd be the same situation, except with a guy who can just run more. It's the same situation.
It'd be more reliable.
But the I don't know. I think that the Patriots end up doing something else. Like, there's no way that they don't do anything else.
Yeah.
And don't help Drake May. Like, I think they honestly might get Ayuk still. Like,
Yeah.
to trade their second round pick for Ayuk. Like,
There
I think
were-
that's a possibility.
There were
without his boy
speculations.
Daniels.
There was speculation about Debo being available,
I heard
Ayuk
that
being
too.
available. I saw somewhere that T. Higgins came out again and said he did want to trade. So there's definitely George Pickens. I heard was also. So there's definitely guys on the chopping block, but it's just, is anybody are they going to give up what people are asking for, and then are they going to have to end up then signing them to a big, lucrative contract over the span of that? For me though, for my Giants, God, I was hoping it wasn't J.J. McCarthy.
The New York Giants select Malik Neighbors. Wide receiver.
Congratulations.
All right, we can run with that. I can put the hat back on. If it was JJ, this thing was getting fucking thrown in the dumpster. As soon as they,
We really thought. it
as
was
soon as they
J.J.
panned to
McCarthy.
him and he had a little smirk, I had my hat in my hands and I was praying to God we didn't get him. I wouldn't have minded Drake May if we decided to be a little courageous and try and get that pick from the Pats, but once we found out that wasn't available, Malik Neighbors was easily the most talented and skillful player on the board, and you couldn't have missed out on him, in my opinion. Now, J.J. McCarthy did go in the top 10, did go to Minnesota like everybody thought, but they got him at number 10. So Minnesota did not have to trade up to that 4 or 5 spot, only had to trade 1 pick with the Jets to get him.
I think that's huge for them.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Saving all that draft capital, like
Mhm.
that's huge.
So now Minnesota has their quarterback for the foreseeable future, right? But that's going to have to be a sit a little while situation, see how Sam Darnold does, and then if he's ready, throw him in, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they brought him in with great weapons. I mean, obviously Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson will come back later in the year, but he's got the weapons. He's got the weapons to help. Aaron Jones in the backfield.
Yeah,
Don't forget about him.
that's true. And I mean, with like you said,
He's the quarterback's best friend.
and like you said with Jordan, but they're going to have to play Justin. That's no question. I think getting a QB on a rookie deal right now is huge to be able to pay Justin Jefferson like that. We just watched the 15th overall pick by the Indianapolis Colts. Finally, a defensive player, Leatu Latu from UCLA. 15 picks it took to get the first defensive player. I don't know if that's a record in the draft, but that seems like an awfully long time. And there's still a bunch of names still on the board.
Yeah, I mean, like we got Brian Thomas, you have Lad McConkey, you have Xavier Worthy, you have Kool-Aid McKinstry,
Byron
Andy
Murphy,
Mitchell, Byron Murphy, Dallas Turner.
Turner.
Like you have a bunch of good players left, and I mean, we'll see what other teams take.
Yeah, the back half of the draft will definitely have some interesting picks here.
Absolutely, see if anybody trades back up, trades out, see what happens.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be more surprises. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so now into just the random sports news. Nothing too crazy or exciting has gone on since the last episode. Just a couple quick things. To stay in the NFL, a lot of jerseys have been released. The Houston Texans have released a new jersey. The Detroit Lions have released a new jersey. The New York Jets have released a new jersey. And the Denver Broncos have. There's been a change in the fact that now NFL teams can now have a third helmet. Do you guys like these jerseys? Are they exciting?
My favorite are the Detroit Lions, honestly. The new jerseys, the black helmets, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, anything like black uniform, that's always an eye catcher for me.
I will agree with you on that. I honestly I like the Texans helmets, but jersey wise, I think the Broncos orange ones are cool. But I think their white and their blue ones, no thanks.
You see, I feel like the Broncos jerseys kind of look like Illinois jerseys.
Yeah,
so I don't really like them.
There's a lot of comparison to Illinois or the University of Texas, San Antonio. I think it's kind of perfect. Like the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions off of incredible seasons last year, really good jerseys. The New York Jets and the Denver Broncos, really bad jerseys after really terrible seasons. So I kind of think it fits where the NFL team is right now in terms of culture, squad, and predictions for the season. So I think it fits kind of perfectly with how those franchises are at the moment. In other news coming out of the football world, Reggie Bush finally has his Heisman back after 14 years.
For a lot of people, this is long overdue.
I mean, the whole thing was just ridiculous. I mean, this is the one and only Heisman Trophy winner ever to get his Heisman Trophy revoked over something. Nowadays, it happens with every single player getting money for being on the field for their name, image, and likeness. I think when the NCAA did it was to try and send a message that this is just not going to fly. But I think it was long overdue, and I think it's never going to happen again.
Do you think now it's like the NCAA is saying, we were wrong?
No, I think they're just trying to give themselves some good publicity over all the mistakes they've made in the past. Oh, let's do this one good thing to boost our ratings and how people see us, even though they're not the greatest run organization, it seems like.
I mean, Johnny Manziel said he wasn't even going to go to any of the meetings anymore either. I'm pretty sure he was going to get other people to stop going as well.
There was a lot of noise on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, about just previous Heisman Trophy winners talking about how ridiculous the fact that he doesn't have his Heisman still is. Yep.
There's a lot of people
the best player in college football too.
Well, there was even
no shot.
There was even that story. They asked Vince Young if he wanted the Heisman Trophy, and Vince Young said no. It's rightfully Reggie Bush's, even if you think he got it with getting money from NIL.
So another segment we have is the Champions League here. We have the semifinals already set. We have Real Madrid Bayern on April 30th, and then the following day we have PSG Dortmund. We'll get into our predictions next Tuesday, but it should be some great matchups here.
Yeah, and to keep everybody updated on the NBA playoffs, we have in the Eastern Conference the 1-8 game at Celtics Heat. That is tied at 1-1. We have the 2-7 being the Knicks-Sixers, which is 2-0 Knicks. We have the 3-6 as the Bucks-Pacers, where that series is also tied. And then the 4-5 is the Cavs-Magic, and that is the Cavs up 2-0.
Orlando Magic.
I didn't even realize what you were saying.
In the Western Conference, we have the 1-8 game being the Thunder Pelicans. The Thunder are up 2-0. We have the 2-7 being the Nuggets versus the Lakers. with Jamal Murray hitting a buzzer beater. We have the 3 versus 6 being the Timberwolves Suns. The Timberwolves lead 2-0 heading into Phoenix. And we have the Mavs and the Clippers at 4-5. And that series is also tied. Now it's time for washed up wagers. So to go over everybody's scores and everything that's happened recently, Pat is 7-4. He's went 3-0 on Tuesday's podcast, having the 76ers covering at +6, the Oilers winning Game 1, and the Padres beating the Rockies. Reminder, his series pick is the Cavs, who are up 2-0.
Yeah, they'll lose, don't worry.
I am in second place, where I am 5-6. I went 1-2 earlier this week. I had the Golden Knights winning Game 1, but I had the Magic and the Cincinnati Reds both losing. And reminder, I also have the Magic winning this series against the Caps.
Orlando Magic.
Lewis is currently in last place, where he is 4-7. He went 1-2 on the last podcast. He had the Braves beating the Marlins on Monday, but AD did not hit a 3 in Game 2.
He should have. He fucking should have.
And the Bruins did not win.
They fucking should have. They fucking should have.
And a reminder, his series pick is the Mavs, which is 1-1.
Oh, my God. Come on. Luka Doncic? Come on. I'm a fucking asshole. Yeah, he fucking is.
When you can ball like that, you can be whoever you want to be.
Exactly.
Our next picks are for the Friday slate, which is April 26th. We will each pick one bet from an NBA playoff game, one from the NHL playoff game, and one MLB pick for Friday. For me, I have the Red Sox game as the under, which is at 8. I have the Suns money line over the Timberwolves, and I have the Rangers money line as well. And that is $10 to win you 48-23.
For me, I have the Mavs money line tomorrow over the Clippers in a crucial Game 3. I have the under 6.5 goals in the Avalanche versus the Jets game. And lastly, I have the Texas Rangers money line plus 371, 10 to win you 47-16.
Lastly, I have the Timberwolves money line, which is at a plus 150. I have the Oilers money line at home. No, my apologies. Away at the Los Angeles Kings. And then, you guys know me. I love me some Diamondbacks bets. They haven't been doing me well, but I know this one's a lock. So, we got the Diamondbacks money line in my 3-pick parlay.
Who are the D-backs playing?
The D-backs are actually playing the Seattle Mariners at 9:40 p.m.
I've heard Lou say this.
And they're playing at Seattle, but let's go Diamondbacks, baby. Put it on the board, 0-2, but we're going to be 1-2. It's going to be a $10 bet to win $76.99. It's a plus 669. So if that's not a lucky number, I don't know what it is.
Are we saying the Diamondbacks is your MLB team this year?
Depending on this game, they might be.
Or they might never get bet again.
Another reminder that the person that's in last place at the end of the month will have their chest hair waxed off. So stay tuned for the results for next week. Thank you so much for watching episode 5 of the Washed Up Sports Podcast. A reminder that we will be releasing new episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays on YouTube and on Spotify. Our usernames for those can be found in the description of this video. See you next time, and as always,
stay washed.